This is the District 2 Sports Podcast with your hosts, Gregory, Devin, and Big G, your voice for local sports in Southern Virginia. You can listen to this episode and hundreds of others on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us a like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
They're not in my top 12. They're not in my top 12. I told y'all. They're not.
Big G got his teams in and they all lost last week. So,
how did you get that? I got two teams in and one of them lost.
I need to throw one more shout out. I got a shout out to my little guy over there on the left, little Dev.
The spreadsheet is back out, and it's back.
Oh, you have one for basketball?
I got one for basketball.
Yes.
Really? You're not for Spurs? Okay. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Whoa,
So now we're
man,
going hot now. It's going hot.
For anybody listening tonight, or anybody paying attention, if y'all don't know, the mob is in the NFL.
Not a fan? Not a fan of the lo-fi?
That music was atrocious.
That was weak. I did not.
That was the first thing I wrote down. As soon as it started, I put, not crazy about this.
All right, so District 2 Sports Podcast. We have another great episode tonight for you. We're joined by the Graham G-Men basketball team here, the state champions. We have Coach Todd Baker and the junior standout, Channing DeCivio. Guys, we can't thank you enough for coming on, and how are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Really appreciate you guys doing this, and more exposure, like I said, we get for Graham High School, and in particular Graham boys basketball. We want to do it, so we appreciate all you guys and what you're doing and inviting us.
Yeah, we just want to thank y'all for doing this and letting everybody know that. But yeah, we just want to thank y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on. I know you guys got a busy schedule. We're trying to line this up for a little bit, so we know that Channing's playing soccer, so he has things going on too. But my first question I want to ask you guys, I know it's been 2 months now since the championship happened, but does it still seem a little surreal that you won that championship game? And then, after you guys won it and returned back from Richmond, how did that community greet you guys?
Well, I'll go first, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of like it didn't really happen. I mean, it's because we're still waiting to do our banquet. We're still waiting on the ordered rings, and we really haven't concluded the season until we do that. Kids are excited to get the rings, and we're excited to get the rings, and got them some other stuff. So and when that happens, I think it'll finally sink in, because honestly, for 70 years, we've never experienced this. On the boys basketball side, but I think honestly, what's wild is, of course, we take a nice charter bus to Richmond, and then we ride back, and it's 5 coaches, and all the boys, of course, rode with parents or girlfriends or whoever, and just dump us. We just ride back by ourselves. But I really thought the ride bus with your headphones and music and just kind of that to me was one of the best rides I've ever had, just to honestly be by yourself and just take it in. But now our town, I mean, we honestly, it took us about $7,000 to $9,000 for that one game. When you figure a charter bus, the hotel, feeding them. Last year it took right at $9 million, and within 3 days we had the funding from our community to make the trip. So the town of Bluefield supports Graham High School. And all of the sports, not just boys basketball, but they will come through in a need. And we had a need, and it was just multiplied over and over. So we're very fortunate to have the town we live in and the school support. And but yeah, again, when we come home, it's people are really excited. Talk about, we were at Fincastle watching the game, couldn't believe it, couldn't get so excited. Why they do this? They made me so scared. They made me so nervous. It was good. It was good. But, yeah, really, really great experience. I'll let him share a little bit.
I mean, winning the state championship is like one of the greatest things anybody could feel. But for me, I just felt like, anybody dreams of it as a kid to go out there and win state. But also with the community, I don't think we could have been there without them, because they helped us do so much through games and everything. But, one thing I'll miss the most after I'm gone next year is probably the bus rides. It feels so real. Like when you're there laughing, especially like going down to Richmond, which takes 4.5 hours or whatever. I mean, you're just sitting there. I don't think nobody slept on the way there. It was just like such an amazing feeling. But also, it felt better because nobody believed that we could go that far again, like we did my sophomore year, because we lost like such key talents. But we came together as a team, and I think we proved everybody wrong.
Coach Channing, I just want to let you know I'm sorry for being late, but let me tell you something. Whatever y'all have heard in the first 5 to 10 minutes is all lies. Okay, I'm just going to tell y'all now, it's all lies. I personally picked Graham G-Men to win the state championship in basketball. I tried to put you guys in the top 5 at least the entire year. I was outvoted every week by these two to not put you guys in the top 5. And then, I mean, I can't even plead my case. I don't even know what to say. I just know that when it's all said and done, the G-men come through for Big G. So, I mean, thank y'all so much for doing this for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everything that was said, sir, was nothing but positive about you and how you love the Graham G-men.
We went through this in football and basketball, so it was tough. These two are tough. I'm gonna tell you, they are tough on Dad. I'm gonna tell you right now.
They were saying that you lie.
Maybe just a little. Maybe just a little. Just, what we call them, white lies. I mean, you know, they're tiny anyway. But no, nothing but congratulations to you, both of you guys. I think it's just a monumental feat in winning that state. And let me tell you something. Out of the 4 pictures that show up on this screen right now, 4 out of 5 people have won a state championship. So y'all can guess who the 5th one did not win a state championship. So I don't know what it feels like, and I wish I knew. I just wish I knew. I see the rings, but that's it.
Coach, I want to ask you. Okay.
I won mine as a player. We didn't get rings.
Oh, okay.
We got jackets. They got jackets at Bluefield. We got jackets. That was 1984.
Wow.
So they didn't do rings then.
Gotcha. Coach, I mean, I don't know what's been said about, prior to me getting on, but, I don't want to bring up anything that's negative. I happen to be the controversial of the 3, so I might as well just say it. I mean, were y'all pleased to see a certain team leave division or class 2? I guess is what I want to say is we keep getting that mixed up, but were y'all pleased to see a certain team move on?
Well, it doesn't, like we was talking a little bit earlier. I don't think it resolves the issue that's going on in high school, college, and pro. I mean, it's just, and we talked about it, like, the me society and what can you do for me, and we just want to play within the rules, and who we face is who we face, and we can't worry about who's doing what, and except Graham High School. So I'm if we just saw them there again this year, we'd have went and we'd have played the best we could have played. And like Cormedy said, it just he didn't think it was right. He didn't think they were doing it right. And everybody has their opinion, but
right.
We were just our road is just as tough as anybody in Richmond or Northern Virginia, or and a lot of people don't realize our geographics. You can go to Richmond and play 16, 18 games within 15 miles. We play a game and we can go 2 hours and go 70 miles, but travel 2 hours, right. and the roads aren't quite as. So it's different issues we face.
Let me ask both. Let me ask both of you this. What was there any solace? I mean, I know you take the big prize this year, but was there any solace at all knowing that you guys gave the biggest threat to them last year in the championship? I mean, it took a while, but I mean, y'all did give them a run for the money.
Well, I'm Channing to say too. I mean, I don't think we were. I mean, we weren't just happy to be there. I mean, it wasn't an attitude of We went and played top golf. We had a good time when we went last year. But yeah, when it came down to it, we were going to go. We shoot poorly, and a lot of they have such length, and every passing lane is cut. I mean, it's a different. We don't play against that type of talent all year. So our shooting in the first half was not. I mean, we shot great second half. I mean, our offensive. We just our size. We're a very small team. And a lot of times their first shots weren't made, but they get second shot, they get third shot. But we weren't going just thinking, all right, well, let's just go up here and take our beat and then let's go home. And we weren't happy with second. None of the boys were happy with second. And I think they got tired of hearing what I told a little while ago is, this is not a chance. We didn't win it. I mean, we didn't win, so don't tell us we're the public school champions or we're getting T-shirts or we're getting this. No, we won nothing. And I think that mentality, one of his best friends, Gage Palmer, said, we're going to play John Marshall and we're going to beat him. I mean, this kid was saying this in our second week of practice, that he's more football. So we have a different expectation that the culture at Graham is when you go, you're going to win. You're going to compete and win. There's no place for second. And I don't mean that in we're mean coaches or we're mean. It's just expectations. It's just expectations. So Channing may want to say a little bit more of that, but I wasn't happy I was happy that we got there. I was happy that we played well. That was good. Second half was 51-50, I think. So I was happy that our kids played well. And I'll let Channing maybe he might want to say something different outlook on it.
My sophomore year's team, I don't think anybody that played had no different mentality going to that game than any other game. I think it was just another business trip for us. Nobody was going back down from them. Everybody thought we was, but I think they know now that we didn't. But we did play great, to be honest. But I just think that come from maybe people had nerves at the beginning, but when they got to feel the game, I don't think nobody was scared or nothing like that. But we went into it thinking we could win, even though that might not what could possibly happen. But our mindset from last year's team was carried us to go thinking that way. And I'm just thankful that we went out there and didn't get embarrassed.
Coach, talking about the state championship game against Woodstock, you guys 65-58 winners over them in the state championship game. But just looking at the kind of the scorebook, kind of looking at the runs there, you guys kind of delivered that first punch there in the first, maybe the second quarter. You guys going a 9-2 run, kind of take a 7-point lead there. But they answered back right before halftime, 11-1 run, go up by 3 at halftime. But you guys come right back in third quarter, 12-1 run. They answered back with 10-0 run. You guys going another 13-1 run. I think that 13-1 run put you up 50-40, and that kind of seals your guys' fate for the rest of the game. It seemed like Central Woodstock was playing from behind, fighting hard to get to 50-50, get to even. You guys just kind of weathered that storm, and then you guys went on your own run and kind of solidified that state championship there. So I just want to get your thoughts on the game.
Well, I thought a big part. Well, we had watched 10 or 12 games of theirs. They had won every third quarter. They won every third quarter in those 12 games that I watched. And we talked about if we win the third quarter, we're going to win that game. And I think we ended up winning about 5 or 6. We won the third quarter. I think that ended up almost being the spread of the game. Plus, we missed probably 13 free throws, 13 or 14 free throws. And those runs of, like you were talking about, 10-1, you reduce that 10-4, 10-5, it helps quite a bit in what we had to answer to or what they answered to. But no, I just felt like our pressure there at the end of the second half was a little bit of the difference. I think we turned them over 22 times maybe. And of course, I thought there at the first half you were talking about, we turned it over there 2 or 3 times, a couple of questionable shots, but that happens. Give them credit. They're a really talented team. But I think just that third quarter, we were so stuck on beating them the third quarter. I think the other quarters, even if they balance out, or we just felt like we had to win the third quarter. But Channing may, he may want to elaborate or give his thoughts.
Channing, before you go, Coach, what was the message at halftime when you guys are, they go on that 11-1 run, they're up by 3 at halftime. And then Channing, for you, after Coach Baker, what is it like for a player being out there on the court when you're, you guys are feeling it? You go up on a 13-1 run, and then next thing you know it's a 10-0 run going the other way. How do you, deal with those emotions on the court?
Well, I'll say at halftime, the most important message was we weren't, don't panic, you don't go in there and scream and yell, and you just talk about what you need to do to make adjustments. And I felt like the whole attitude of the team was, we are not losing this game. You play your role, you do what you do well, and we need to finish at the rim. We need to get to the rim and finish at the rim. Let's reduce our outside shooting and try to get to the free throw line. And I think Channing and Ty really played well at the rim, and Campbell made some really nice plays going to the rim. So I think those three players going to the rim, making plays, and then they dump it off to Garrett Palmer a lot. I think Garrett made 3 or 4 really big baskets off of their assists or rebound, kind of like spread them out there. But I think the attitude at halftime was just, we're not playing well. Why are we not playing well? Let's go out here and play better. I'll do my job, and then we'll see how it ends up.
I mean, to be honest, in my eyes, I don't think we played our best game or anywhere close to our best game that game. Yeah. I mean, like you said, going on them runs, you feel like you would just close it out, but then you miss a shot and they go down, hit a 3 and 1, and the momentum just changed like that, so it can change quickly. But I mean, at halftime, what Coach said is like, don't panic, stay composed, and like do what we've done all year to help us win games. And I think we did that, especially in the third quarter. We came out, they called a quick timeout, I think, and they're a good team. They had one guy that, I mean, he was tough, but they went back down. But when they came back, we would just go again. I feel like towards the end of the game, they just didn't have no more left in them. And I think we did. I think that's what helped us come out with the victory. And also, like, I think the Central game helped us a lot. Because going down there, like, I don't know what the odds was, 80-20, their fans compared to ours. That was my favorite game of the year. But I think that helped us come out at the end of the game and just win. But Ty Martin, I mean, he helped a lot with that. Like, I wouldn't hit shots, he'd go down and get one for us. And that Campbell, he made some crazy plays. But I think when he got the dunk, I think that's when we like knew that it was over.
Let me ask both of you guys a quick question. And, we tried to keep up with things as much as possible. We had a weekly top 12 and stuff like that. And, I guess January was just devastating as far as weather was concerned. And it seemed like everybody was playing 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. It seemed like everybody dropped a game that they probably wouldn't lose otherwise. Kind of felt like people were swimming upstream, I guess you want to say. How challenging was the winter months to you guys, or those mid months to you guys? And, how challenging was it? And, how difficult was it getting through there? And, Channing, to you, I mean, did you find yourself kind of afraid or fried or whatever you want to call it? Did you find yourself just kind of, trying to fight your way to get through the day or what have you?
Well, what people don't understand about what we faced the last probably 6 years of my coaching at least is the success of football. So when I say success of football, I get our football players usually about December 15th, 14th. And I've watched people play games, and we've got 5 and 6 kids at practice that, Channing's always one of them. Of course, he doesn't play football, but, so once our schedule, we back it up just because we're expecting football to be successful. They've been the state championship one year, December 14th was the state championship. So our games weren't starting. I mean, our football guys, their legs were nowhere near. So we're used to playing 3 and 4 a week. We've played 3 or 4 a week for probably 5-6 years. We lost 2 games at home this year that we were very disappointed that Bluefield and Beckley didn't come to us because their words were they had 3 games that week, and we're like, well, and that's probably two big financial games for us, obviously. The Bluefield game obviously is a huge money gate for us. But we say, well, we're used to it. It's just a mile. Bluefield's a mile away. But we didn't get that game, and we didn't play Woodrow, so that was disappointing. But we learned that mentality. I mean, we had a season. Our gym flooded. We had no home games the whole season. We had not a home game. We traveled to every game. We played at Bluefield State, played at the Armory. So this group, and Channing was a freshman or ninth grade, but we have been through some things over the 6 years that we don't. The 3 games a week doesn't. It's the norm. 4 games even sometimes. That's what Richmond and Northern. I mean, we get the weather, and sometimes, and it's just if it's so cold, some of our roads don't get sunshine and treated, and so we're facing different situations. But we play. If we can play, we're going to play. So I don't think, we lost to Richlands at home, which was probably, and it wasn't like it was like we were mad or we were we were just like, why did that happen? What did we do? Of course, you go back and look. Fix was 0 for 10. I mean, you go back, they played great and they deserved to win the game. So you accept it and you move on. You don't. I mean, we played the next game in the tournament and beat them by 28 or something. I don't know. So you're right. Those games come up, and you're like, we don't make excuses. You just get ready and you adjust. So I'll let Channing. He'll talk a little bit there.
I mean, like Coach said, we're used to playing 3 to 4 times a week, so I can't speak for nobody else. But like, it didn't really affect me. Like, I'd be hurting that night, maybe in the morning, but when it came game time, I was feeling good. I mean, nothing really bothered me. But Richlands, we shouldn't have lost that game. But also, I feel like it might have helped us because you'd rather lose. I feel like we got a little too comfortable. And I feel like it's more important to have them in the regular season than any tournament, because it'd suck if that came in the state quarters and then we lost and then we wouldn't be on this podcast right now. So I think, it sucks to lose to Richlands, especially because they're in our district. And we heard it at school all week that we're terrible, whatever. But I feel like that gave us like a thought in our mind, like, we got to get it right. We can't have those games like that. We didn't play good at all. But props to them. They made some shots, had a couple of good. We should never lost that game. But those games do come where you play 3 or 4 times a week, then one that you shouldn't lose just slips away. But I'm just thankful it happened then instead of later.
And I'll just ask with y'all. We talked earlier about losing a few key pieces from last year's team, but was there a point during the season when y'all realized, all right, we got a chance to do this thing or win it all this year rather than just going back and being a tournament team?
I thought, with the coaches and our conversations, losing Markel Ray, of course Blake and Cole, but Kale was a traditional point guard. Ty Martin has not developed into that yet. He's more of a 2 scorer. Jang's a scorer. And another sophomore, TK, he's not developed that yet either. So I was concerned late in the season that we had that guy that could control things and get everybody in the right spots. And it turned out to be Gage Palmer a lot of times. Just not that he's nowhere near a point guard or a scorer, but his leadership really calmed everyone at times. And he is another one of our kids that just refuses to lose. And he is willing to whatever he has to do to win a game. But at times we let him come out to the point and settle our offense or get the ball in chains or whoever we felt like had advantages. He did that for us some. So there was, I felt like, beating Central in the regular season at Central really helped as well. Playing that game got us experience at that place and helped us later in the regional game. But Lebanon game, I thought when we won the tournament, the regular district tournament, I thought then I said, well, we are getting the pieces in the right places, and we have really bought into defense. These kids want to play defense, so if they continue to play defense the way we're playing defense, it's you're gonna win games when you play defense. But Shane, you go ahead if you want to say some more.
I mean, last year's team. I mean, I felt like we won it when I heard John Marshall wasn't there no more. Especially me and Tom Martin and Gage. Like, we felt like we could win it, like, probably now. Even though people didn't think so because we lost, like, Markel Ray. I mean, that's the best player I've ever seen. Like, I played. But Cole, he knows his role. I think Gage kind of filled in the Cole spot a little bit more this year about knowing his role and doing what he needed to do to help the team win. And Blake's defensive presence, I mean, he guard 1 through 5 any day of the week. But I also feel like we had some players step into them roles and more players that came into new roles. But I think an underappreciated player is, I mean, you got Munch. Campbell was underappreciated. And TK and Garrett, they did things that didn't show up on the score sheet. Like TK changed games with charges. Garrett, that's the best offensive rebounder I've seen. Like he crushed the boys. But I think losing that team helped us come with a better mindset. Especially with John Marshall gone, we knew we could win it. And everything happens for a reason. So
Well, I want to hit on something Channing had mentioned earlier, the Central game. You guys have beat Central Wise, I think, twice in the regular season. I think it was like less than 10 points each time, but close games. But you guys lose to them in the Region D championship, maybe an upset to a lot of people out there. We know that Central is a good team, but looking back, how much did that loss kind of toughen this team up? As far as mentally, physically, and how did that prepare them for that run to the state championship game?
I think that loss really. Listen, I never want to lose, so I don't. I mean, there's things you get out of losses, but no, I don't ever think there's a good win, good loss. I think we approach it as we're going to try to win every game, but no, we learn things, and you learn adjustments, and we made some adjustments. I didn't think we played very good defense that game. I think our kids didn't play; they weren't happy with how we played defense. We have not given a score of 30 points, and it's been a long time in our classification. Let's just put it that way. And we weren't happy with how we guarded, and so we made some changes and we refocused. And I thought Gate City that first game against Gate City was good for us to get in that gym and that environment, because the Mountain 7 was, like Channing said, it was probably 80-20. Interesting story, that Central game was so neat. They tailgated and they had huge things going on out there, and we were coming in, and so every timeout, somebody in that parents or somebody had like 10 little middle school girls sitting behind our bench, the first row behind our bench at Wise. And I'm telling you, every timeout, they screamed the entire timeout. And I didn't realize it at first, but then during the game, they just eat their popcorn, talk, whatever. But by golly, every single timeout, those little girls were screaming at me just at the top. I guess so they couldn't hear, or I don't know what they're doing. But I just think that I thought we outplayed them the second time down there. Obviously, we did a much better job on Hayes, and that team is a really good team. I think we just had to figure out a way to contain him and make the other ones beat us, and I thought we did a good job of that game. But you go ahead, Channing.
In the Region D championship, I mean, Ian, he's a great scorer. I mean, he had 15, 16 on us in the first half. And Gabe comes in the locker room talking about, you got to step up. He comes out second half, hits a 3 in my face, actually. I was like, oh, God. So, but also in the state semis, I think you got to give most of that win to coach, because we went through practice all week when we were going to play him, how to contain him. We changed things up to 1-3-1. And I'm sitting there like he don't have the ball in his hands. He's like, I don't know what to do with the 1-3-1 because we didn't give it to him. But I just think if we contain him, we can win. And I just got to give Coach all the props for that one.
Guys, I just got a wild feeling that we are having this conversation in 2027. So we just repeated. So, is there pressure? How do you handle that pressure? How do you handle the ghost in the air in your ear? Repeat. How do you handle complacency going from here on?
Well, that's one thing we'll find out. I know nobody in this group has in our group coming back has experienced it. So second 2 years ago, and then we won it last year. But I think you just said it. I think if you believe in status quo, then we'll get our hind ends beat. If we don't continue to get better, there's somebody that is. And it may not be Woodstock. It's going to be somebody. And it'd be Central. It'd be Gate. I mean, there are people getting better, and if we don't do it, we won't have success like we've had. That talk about Woodstock. I'm sorry, I get off here a little bit, but I don't know if y'all watched our football game against them. It's probably 4 years ago, maybe. I felt like that basketball game was similar to that football game. We started off in football quick, hit a touchdown. But that was a group of kids at that school in their environment, obviously. Them boys went nowhere. It didn't phase them like our basketball game. Our runs didn't phase them. They came back. I thought the football game was so much similar to our basketball game with little runs and little you take a punch, you give a punch. But I have nothing but respect for that school and what they believe in and how they teach their athletes. And it was really, really good in that football game that we played. And then the basketball game. But we're going to get after it. I mean, we're going to have to get better. We've got a couple young ones that we want to also insert that could help us get a little depth. We're probably one of the thinnest teams around. But Channing don't want to lose his minutes. But we've also got to build a bench in some of these runs. So like you said, you can't get complacent. You can't get status quo is not going to win you another championship. It's constantly getting better. So that's our goal, is get better.
I'm in my car sometimes. I hear a song like, I'm so pumped up for next season. I hear a song like, dang, we can come out to this. Like, it make the fans go crazy. But also, when that first practice comes, like for next season, winning the state championship last year don't mean nothing. It's a new season. You got other new teams, new players you got to defeat. But I think with my classes and like last year's team that are coming to this year, we know that we're not comfortable. I mean, we want to go get 2 of them. And winning 1 is like great, but winning 2 in a row is greater. And I think we have the mindset that we can go get another one easy. Not easy, but like we think that.
I love it. Jenny, go ahead.
What comes like during the season, it don't compare to like getting better in the off season. You gotta get better in the off season to get better in the season. But in practice, you gotta go 100%. I feel like you don't get better during games, you get better during practice. Games, you show how better you've gotten. But practice is like where it starts. And I think our practices are great, competitive. When Coach lets it go live, it's the best practice ever. I mean, there's argument, maybe a little cussing back and forth, but I just think that we'll be ready for next season.
Coach is like, oh, you should get that one to yourself, Jenny. Nah. I want to go to that first game of the state tournament. You play against at Floyd County. I think it's at Franklin County High School. I was watching highlights of that game, back and forth game all night. Really good 2 squads here going back and forth on it. But the one point that I look at, and Channing has the ball, 49 seconds left. He's in the corner. Noah Farley, I think, has a hand in your face. Not a lot of space at all. But you still pull the trigger and you hit a 3-pointer to go up to I think it was 54, 52 at that point. I don't know what went through your head. You look so calm and collected. Nothing seemed to bother you after you made that 3. You're ready to get that back there on defense. And then, Coach, for you, was that one of those plays where you say, no, get a better shot, goes in, yes, that's a great shot. So I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, to be honest, he's probably one of the fewest kids. I mean, his 3-point shooting is probably comparable to Gage Palmer's layups. So in confidence, and meaning I feel like, yeah, maybe he shot 39-40% from three, but yet the corners are his. I mean, he's probably shot 20,000 corner threes in his off-season work. But the difference between Channing and Ty are those kids can score in these games this late in the year because of the off-season. They don't score those buckets because they practice from November, December, and then the season. They get to score in those games because of their skill set that they have worked on in the off-season. I try to tell our kids that yeah, you play football, play baseball, but you've still got to get a ball, basketball, and do some skill set work 45 minutes, an hour a day, or at least 3 days, 4 days a week. Channing and Ty do that. And so when it comes down to scoring baskets and those kind of defensive pressures, those situations, it's not easy, but it's easier for them. So yeah, that shot was one of those yeah, but then I was instantly worried about his defense, making sure he get in the right spot on defense because that game came down to like 3 or 4 possessions of we turned him over a couple times, and I thought we did a real good job of keeping it from Brian Harmon's son. I thought we really gave him a hard time that game just by pressure, and because the kid can flat out shoot it if you leave him any space, he can shoot it. And Farley's a tremendous player. I hate that he's gone left, but he is a tremendous player, and I thought we played him well. I thought they were much bigger and stronger than us inside, but that ended up kind of balancing out. We didn't really. I mean, it hurt us, but it didn't because I thought we spread them and Channing made some plays, and me and Campbell and Ty made plays. So yeah, that was a great shot. I've got it on video, and I watch it. But I was more concerned about the next play, to be honest with you. Like, all right, we got to get a stop, and we can win this game. But Channing, he'd go ahead and what he felt.
With that shot, if I'm not mistaken, I think I missed one, and we got a rebound. It came right back to me. But
Correct.
I just want to thank my teammates for trusting me in that moment. Because you can have all the trust in yourself, but you're not getting the ball if your teammates don't trust you. But I think it was Ty that passed it to me. But I just missed it and went to Ty and right back. I just shot it again. But, I mean, that shot, it felt good in the moment. But also what Coach was talking about, you got to worry about the next 40 seconds or how much ever was left. Because if you don't close out, that shot don't mean nothing if you lose. I mean, we're not even having this talk right now. If we don't play defense. And then also, Garrett Palmer closed the game with the free throws. I mean, I think I passed it to him. I'm not going to say I didn't know who it was. I just saw our team alone. If it was him, then I might not have thrown it. But he went up there, made 2, and I'm just happy he did that because if he misses, they go down, score, we lose. But as a team, you got to have trust in each other if you want to win games like that.
I don't know if you guys, you might not know this, but I don't know if Channing's freshman year or might have been sophomore year, we played Virginia High at Lebanon. And Markel, we had a last-second shot to win the game. Markel penetrates, kicks Channing in the same corner, same spot on the court, and we didn't make it. But that experience, people don't understand that type of shot in that type of situation. When it occurs again, kids have a little better feel about it or trust in it. And I try to tell people we try to play as hard a schedule as we can play to try to get kids in positions where they got to make hard plays and make tough shots and play tough teams. But him to be able to make that, I think that's been a buildup of his opportunities and the time he's spent on his game.
Coach Baker, let me ask you, I know sometimes coaches don't have a whole lot of input or have a lot of control over their schedule. It's pretty much left up to the ADs or what have you. But, we had a certain team in our top 5, I guess you want to say, that stayed in the top 5, even though they were like 12-7 because they played teams like Western Albemarle. I know people will be able to read between the lines here, but, they played teams like Western Albemarle. They played teams like EC Glass a couple times. They played teams like Nelson County a couple times. Do you believe in playing that tough schedule And, not saying that the regular season doesn't mean anything. And you just like me, I don't like to lose at checkers. So, does that preparation, move you forward? Does it put your team in a better position, going forward during that year?
Well, I have total control over my schedule first, though. And, we opened up this season with Science Hill, a 6A school in Tennessee. Not because, like you said, I'm not arrogant, I'm not cocky, but I think those games build your team. We played Woodrow. Woodrow is a 4A school in West Virginia. Probably one of the best teams, maybe the best team we played. And we only got to play them once because they didn't come back to us. But Bluefield High School is always, that's our biggest rivalry. And they probably won 6 state championships, 13, 15, something in football. So those type of Glenville, we played Glenville at Floyd. Glenville's a great game for us. They're going to be good this year. I want to play those. My son, we played PH Roanoke at Salem at the tournament there. We played Spotswood at that tournament one year. They tried to get us to come, but we just had a full schedule. We're playing in the Arby's this year, 3 games in the Arby's, and like I said earlier, depending on those draws, you get some pretty good teams, and we hope to. I think there's only 2 Science Hills in it, and us so far I know of in the public school area section. But no, I want to play those games, and kids have heard me say, we're not preparing to beat Tazewell, Richland. We're preparing to beat the Mac McClung's and those type teams that you're going to have to beat in order to win a region and move to the state level. So for 8 years now, our schedule has been as competitive as I could make it, and still be with always a minimum bench. We've always been so limited in numbers, but yeah, it's up to me, and I think the kids really enjoy it. And I want to play in big arenas. I want them to play with those big, backgrounds and see what the shooting's like in those backgrounds and in tough environments. So yes, that's on purpose.
Me personally, I'd rather play competitive games, close games, than blowout wins. I don't like blowout wins because then you get up 20 and you're just like, all right, go ahead. But I like competitive because I'm a competitive person. I like 5, 10-point games, buzzer beater type games, and I like those type of games. But coach making our schedule the way it is in the regular season definitely helped us going into region and state. But I think that helped us a lot.
Channing and Coach, I want to ask you about Southwest Virginia in general. Seems like the culture down there for sports is just something very special. It seems like the pride and joy that the communities, that the schools, the players, coaches you all have for your respective schools there. The rivalries are intense. The gyms are packed. The stadiums are packed. Just kind of tell us about Southwest Virginia sports in general and just the culture surrounding the schools.
Well, I think, we have not a saying, I guess, not a joke, but, we feel like sometimes Virginia stops at Roanoke in the eyes of many, many people. And no disrespect to anyone. There's been some pretty good talent come out of, Scott County all the way to Lee County. So our region is very proud in what you got some tough families that coal miners or 30 years ago that have built in their families that by God, I was a Pocahontas coaching and we had to go to Appalachia. And I don't know if you ever seen Appalachia play football in their peak. Of course, the Turner, the coach at Union, was there. He was the quarterback when we went down there, and his dad was coaching. And they come off that Bulldog hill and no shoulder pads to warm up, and it's muddy, and they just head first slide all the way down the hill. And I'm like, oh my God, we got a chance here. We might have a chance. And we scored 6-0, ended up 66-6 or something. And, we watched film. Colorado gave us film from Gate City and all this. And that was, I don't know if that was the year that Gate City, Powell Valley, and Appalachia won because there were different divisions. There was one year that all 3 of those schools won the state championship. And those 3 between each other probably beat each other to death in the games in the regular season. Just, the Jones kid at Powell Valley was just I mean, just incredible talent. And you know, I joke with Mike Eads. Mike helps my son a lot with officiating, but when his son was playing at Bluefoot, I said, listen, there's not the same talent guarding your kid every night that you see in Northern Virginia or Richmond area or East Coast of Virginia and even the Central Virginia. I mean, there's a lot of population that we don't see in our area, but you can't take it negative. Because like Mac McClung had this big scoring record, but I said, I guarantee you Allen Iverson had better talent guarding him every night that he played basketball. We may not have been basketball phenoms guarding him, but by God, there were some pretty good athletes guarding him every single night. But Mac McClung, as he's proven, is a pretty daggone good basketball player from this part of the state. And I just feel like we get second guessed or, and our enrollment still struggles and we don't have a whole lot of progress at this day and time. Like I said, we're under 500 for 440 kids. And when they first asked me questions last year at the state tournament, the media, my first thing, I just want to talk about Graham High School. Our girls won the state, our boys football won the state, our golf team had won runner-up that particular year. And here we are runner-up, our top 10 academically in the state. So, we're proud. You're exactly right. We're proud of what we produce. We're proud of what the one piece that's missing is our kids can't come back to a lot of work. I mean, there's not a lot of employment if they go and find that their networking is going to be somewhere else. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's also hurting Southwest Virginia not to bring our kids back for employment. The loss of coal and everything associated with coal is really hurt. But we're proud of it. We're proud of where we come from. We're just not proud of each other when we play each other. After we play each other, we're back to okay, we can accept you, but we play you, we're against you. But I've been here all my life. Of course, I had to graduate from Bluefield High School, but I could have gone anywhere I wanted to go. But my roots are here, and this is where I want to be. But Channing, he may want to say some things about it. I don't know.
I'm gonna stay within Southwest Virginia because I don't know as much Coach knows. But my freshman sophomore year, like from Roanoke, the biggest rivalry was Graham and V High, and that game was just always intense, good crowd. I mean, this year they were 0-17 or whatever, so it wouldn't have been none. But this year I feel like because my freshman and sophomore year, it was us and V High, but this year I feel like it was like us at the top and everybody else. But I am gonna give props to one team. One team that's got better every year, I think, is Richlands. And they beat us this year, so you can't say that they didn't get better. But that team they don't back down from nothing, I don't think. But the Southwest District rivalry, I mean, it's competitive almost every game. Every team wants to beat each other. I mean, going into next year, if people beat us in the district, we're state champions now, so they'll be like, oh, we just won the Super Bowl. But we also can't take them lightly because they're going to come in, they got nothing to lose. And we just got to come out, play like we do, and win the game. But I think the rivalry in the Southwest District is pretty good overall.
Coach and Channing, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of that. I'm a firm believer in if you're good, you're good. I don't care what classification you're considered as, but, there's a lot of people who don't think that high school sports start until you get to class 3 for some reason. So, I take little Alta Vista, which is right here beside us, a 1A school. They can't even find people hardly to play them in football. And, their record, will be, 6-4 or 7-3 during the regular season because they're having to play 2, 3, 4A teams to beat their schedule. But what would you consider the biggest misnomer for, a lot of schools out there being 1A and in the 2A classification? What would you consider a misnomer for that class or for those classes?
I would talk about, well, first depth. You would think would be a concern for a smaller school, but I'm like you. I believe if you're skilled and you're good, you're good. I watched Northside play this year. in their little tournament they had against Glenver when we we're getting ready to play Glenver, and it's probably one of the least skilled north side teams I've seen. And of course, they've had some pretty nice players here recently. But you know, our football team's the same way. We have trouble. I mean, we're playing Heritage this year, I think. Our first 5 football games are, if we just get out healthy, we're going to be doing good, because he's not going to be as deep this year. But like I said, we get people that I can't even get a scrimmage. I mean, I'm just trying to get a scrimmage game, and what I did was I looked at who's in the football state championships or semis, and try to get one of those teams to scrimmages. I don't care what classification, just because I know those kids haven't had the practice time in the gym, and we haven't either. But we haven't had a scrimmage in probably 5 years that I've been coaching, about 8, just because of football. And then by that time, people have already had their scrimmages, and they don't have room for them, and we lose the one we had scheduled, and people won't schedule us for a scrimmage because of that. Well, you know, your football success, we're not going to get it anyway, so they scrimmage somebody else. But I think it's a misinformation of a lot of people. I think not necessarily here on there, but you know, you talent is talent. It doesn't matter if you attend Lansdowne or Hurley. You know, it's just a matter of I think buying into your team on your role and where you're at, and you know, when teams play team ball and they play together and they're okay with it, you know, you're going to have success at any. I think at any. I mean, you could have the best player on a 4A school, but if they don't play together, you know, you got a really good chance of beating them. PH Roanoke was far more talented than us in what they had that year. We played them at Salem, and you know, we beat them by 6 or 8 points just because we played more as a group. So I think in football, I mean, I think size is an issue sometimes for that too. And overall talent, you know, I'm really, really interested in because why Central dropped us this year. They're not playing the regular season games, but they're also playing in that tournament at Dobbins Bend at the Classic. So I think he had probably 3 games there. So we picked up Gate City, and you know, he's another one that he'll play anybody, anywhere. I just think it's like you said, it's just having knowledge of the game, and you understand the game as a coach, as an adult. You see that there's teams that are really good. I don't care what class, and you know, because some of the teams are in the wrong spots anyway. And I think Princeton High School here, until last year in football, I think that's been the most unsuccessful athletic school in the state of West Virginia, just because, man, they got 1,100 kids. They're always big and strong, basketball, football, and just little success. And, you know, they were 4A, and we're beating them, you know, until last year. When then they called fumble to 1-yard line. It was a tough call, but probably beat them if that goes the way it should have gone. But, again, I think it's just, again, knowledge more than anything. That, you know what, you better prepare. I don't care if we're 4A, we're playing single A, you better prepare. You prepare every game. So,
Coach, I know this is going to be a little bit more directed towards you, because I'm feeling like you're going to have the answer to this. It may not even be a question in this thing, maybe one or two. I'm kind of wanting to know, I'm sure you've had your ring ceremony by now, or you already passed out. You haven't? Well, that's even better. So this is going to fall right into place then. So we would love, I want to buy Gregory a jersey. Since Devin will be in Florida, I'm ready to buy Gregory a G-Man t-shirt. And we want to be at the banner raising for the first game and go live. So just let us know, and District 2 wants to be there.
Okay. That's awesome.
We got banner raising. We got a banner raising.
Well, what we do is what we have is we do have banners, but we add a year. It's one of those add a year banners. So we've got one year for state championship, 1956. So we'll put a sticker on there. It's 2026, but we'll put their team picture up, and we'll have that unveiling. And we'll pick and choose wisely which team we want to do that in front of as well. But we'll definitely let you know.
Coach, I will definitely make out the blue field. I don't know if I can get Big D out there or not. He doesn't like to travel, so we'll see. But Channing, we have some rapid fire. Are you ready for some rapid fire?
No.
All right, this is gonna be like a soccer versus basketball type of things. Did you play both sports here? Okay. All right, first one: Messi or LeBron?
LeBron.
Really? Okay. All right. All right. More likely to nutmeg or cross up a defender in basketball?
Cross up a defender in basketball.
From the corner, 3-ball or corner kick goal?
3-ball.
No soccer whatsoever.
It don't compare to basketball. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I love that.
He actually made a corner kick soccer goal this year.
I saw it against Richlands, right? Is that what it was?
I think it was. Yes. Yeah.
I thought he might take that moment. That's something that rarely happens. So I was like, man, he might take this one.
You're not brainwashing him from basketball. I can tell you that.
All right, I mean, triple double or a hat trick?
Definitely triple double.
Oh man, I mean, I think I know all these answers already. But March Madness or the World Cup?
Never watched the World Cup, so March Madness.
Man, all right, this is a good one right here. I think this would be a really good one. Trash talker or your game does the talking for you?
It depends who we're playing, but I mean, I'm not the one to usually start stuff, but like I'm always back with my teammates if they're going in there. But usually in basketball, I just let my game talk, and I don't really be saying much on the field in soccer.
Hey, Channing, when we get to that game out there and when you raise the banner and y'all play, please, just from me, just tell the guy guarding you he can't carry you a jock and a tractor trailer, okay?
He already knows. He already knows.
I love that.
I'll add something is last year we were playing John Marshall. Latrell Almond comes by our bench, and he says to me, he says, "You've got to tell that boy to shut his mouth. He will not keep talking shit to me." Wasn't Shannon, he was gay. But we do have a couple kids that say something. But Channing's more of a performance talker. He's not a. But now, if somebody said something to one of us, he's involved.
I absolutely love that. That's awesome to hear. This one's going back and forth between the young generation here. Gatorade or Powerade?
I just drink milk and water. I'm not gonna lie. I drink. That's all I drink. Milk and water is all I drink, so I have no clue.
All right.
Also, Gatorade. I've tried Gatorade. I've never tried Powerade.
Milk or water, Channing?
Definitely milk. Definitely milk.
Were you going for a pre? Or what is your pregame meal?
Everybody, I mean, home games, we usually all go to Chick-fil-A, and it's a great time at Chick-fil-A, so you could say Chick-fil-A.
Post-game meal, where are you going after a big win?
Wherever my girlfriend tells me to use. Go ahead.
This is awesome.
No doubt. No doubt.
All the time for that.
I love that. And then what are you listening to? Pregame music?
This year.
What's that?
And I got to stop with it because he changed my mind. I call him Charmin. I say, "You're too soft on defense. You're so soft on defense, I'm calling you Charmin."
I love that. What is Channing? What do you listen to before the games? What's your pregame music?
It depends. I mean, I usually listen to one song before every game. It's the last song I listen to. It's like a calm, just get my mind right. But I usually listen to music for 30 minutes while we're just in the locker room. But usually, before that one song, it's probably just Drake. So, whatever he comes on is what it is.
The most.
You also read your book, your motivation.
Yeah, I read Bible. Like I read
awesome.
the Bible before every game.
That's different. That's really cool. I like that. NBA YoungBoy has been the top answer for a lot of these interviews.
Yeah, he's up there. He's a hyper. He hypes you up. But I just like to get calm before games.
Devin, do you have a couple rapid fire?
I think you hit them all, man.
Well, how about the last one? Does Coach have any dance moves?
Oh.
I'm not gonna put him out there, but in the locker room, sometimes he don't really got no dance moves, but his face be getting red sometimes. He'll start screaming and stuff, but yeah.
This has been awesome. Coach Baker and Channing, we can't thank you.
You know what the rules at VCU are, don't you? See, like you can't do any water. You can't douse the coach in anything in the locker room. You can't even
Wow.
can't have water in the locker rooms.
Really?
The team did that, and it destroyed something because we're in their locker room, the men's basketball team locker room. And it's really nice, but the TVs or something got damaged from the water. Because I first, like 2 years ago, we went like, "What do you mean you can't have water?" Well, then my son refereed the single A championship, and officials they can't take a water in their dressing facility. So actually, after the championship game, it was weird our celebration just because. I mean, we're happy, but then the media wants to grab you. I mean, it's not what you expect, and they're rushing us off the court because they got to clean up for the next session. It's something that honestly needs to be talked about because we don't got a net down. You don't do any of that traditionally you think you do, but no, I didn't get to see them for 40 minutes after the game because the media took me there. And then they said, well, we're going to interview the second place first. And I said, well, why am I here? But it worked. I didn't care, really. I didn't care. But I did want to see them. But it was weird. They were down there without me. So I didn't get to see them dance. Of course, he can't dance a lick. It's all good. We're happy where we're at, and I tell you what, we gotta get this kid in school somewhere.
Amen.
And these guys not taking seniors out of high school is just killing us. Markel couldn't get 12 schools told me he's too young. I'm gonna get 22-year-olds, 23-year-old. Why am I gonna take him? Can't give him any money. Can't help him. It's a sad case for high school seniors right now.
We have
unless you're a good play.
We have them on a list there. We're trying to get these kids recruited. So we're sending stuff out to coaches that we talk to on this podcast. So we try to do what we can. So we'll try to do something we can do for training as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, but guys, we can't thank you enough. This has been awesome. We've been talking for nearly an hour now. We enjoyed it. We can't wait to see you guys. We'll be there in Bluefield at some point, maybe football season and basketball season. So we'll definitely get around. But Coach Todd Baker and Channing DeCipio there at Graham High School. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.